Early. Welcome everyone to Soul Show Season 3, Chapter 6. And it is a pleasure to invite you. I'm your host, Kavita Kanaparthi. I'm the founder and CEO, fondly called Chief Soul at Soulverse. It's my pleasure today to host Jagdish Pandya. And by the community, he is, dearly called JP. And we are looking forward to talk about pioneering digital transformation, a deep dive into Block on Ventures' strategic approach to Web3 innovation, industry leadership, and sustainable digital infrastructure development. Welcome, JP. I think everybody who's probably dialed in today knows you. And everybody who doesn't know you, I'm happy to introduce you to everybody today. Before that, let me just take a quick minute before you introduce yourself. And it's absolutely wonderful to have you today. And listeners, if you don't know, JP is wasn't keeping too well, but he humbly and dearly agreed to come on the show today because he promised to be here, and that is one of the things that we love about JP. What he promises, he's been delivering, and the community knows well. And thank you for that, JP. Much appreciate you being here. Just a little bit about JP to speak on behalf of everybody here at Solverse, ladies and gentlemen. He's a dynamic leader, and through which he has founded the BlockOn Group and has evolved into a comprehensive ecosystem. There are multiple verticals that he drives through the BlockOn ecosystem, and it's not just for crypto, but there's an accelerator, there is a grant that he drives, there is community leadership that he drives, events that he drives, and he has a very good community that supports him, backs him, and he's building what is called the blockchain village in Malaysia. We would like to talk a little bit more about it as we go. But welcome, JP, and if you would be kind enough to introduce yourself a little bit.
Sure. Thank you, Kavita, and the wonderful audience. Very good evening from Dubai. My name is Jagdish Pandya, and as he stated, in my tribe, I'm known as JP. I'm into this industry since 2013, when Binance was not born, Ethereum ICO was not done, and definitely crypto was not considered as a good thing at the time. And later in 2017, because of the regulatory issues in India, where the banking ban was about to come and a lot of negative things were happening, I moved to Singapore. And my journey from Singapore extended till Malaysia, and then eventually we landed in Dubai as well. So today our group BlockOn is into Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Dubai, and India. We have three vertical: investments, acceleration, and events. And we have 25 plus portfolio companies. Happy to be here on podcast and interact with you more. Yeah.
Thank you, JP. Do tell a little bit more about the BlockOn Group and what inspired you to create this comprehensive ecosystem. Because a lot of the times when we say there is an accelerator, and then there may be some advisors to go with it, right? But you have extended that entire thing to create an ecosystem. Could you, tell us a little bit about what inspires you to do that?
Sure. So I believe that necessity is the mother of invention, and that's been said by someone. When I moved out of India and was trying to strengthen my crypto portfolio, I came across an amazing incubator from Silicon Valley called Founder Space, and I opted to become franchisee of Founder Space in Singapore. So Founder Space is the organization that has incubated Instagram, Getty Images, Foursquare, and Change.org. And we
Mhm.
were part of Founder Space Singapore franchise. And by the time I was ready with my cohort and on the demo day, it's a usual pattern that the master franchise holder takes all the incubatees to the larger market. So by right, Founder Space, all uh, incubated startups should go to Silicon Valley, but they said that in US, because of SEC's regulation, we are not invited for the demo day. And that was like
Mhm.
a breaking statement for me that okay, if we cannot incubate here, there is a need for building our own accelerator program and building an ecosystem around this. So we opted to create our own event network, starting from
Mhm.
Cryptocurrency Expo Series, 7th of August 2017, when Bitcoin was formed just 1 week ago. And we took
Mhm.
this across 10 countries and then continued our event legacy via Thai Blockchain Week, Malaysia Blockchain Week, India Blockchain Week in 2022, which is now upgraded to India Blockchain Month. So I believe
Mhm.
that ecosystem enablement has helped us to do only one single thing, which is generating leads for our acceleration and investment
Mhm.
business. Because I believe that events are the only places where you actually meet these all guys who usually do not appear on this planet. I
Mhm.
still remember Coin Market Cap when it was launched. It was like someone Satoshi Nakamoto used to own it, but in 2018 in Binance Blockchain Week event in Singapore, the founder revealed their identity. So
Mhm.
in old time, you never knew which coin is operated by whom, which project is managed by whom. But when we do an event, we meet all these people together. So till date, we have done 150 plus event supported by
Mhm.
16,000 plus IRL attendees, those who knows me, and then 2,000 plus speakers like you. We have been sharing stage with each other, including Prime Minister of Malaysia as well. I believe
Okay.
that enabling ecosystem has helped us to build our own portfolio better. Yeah.
That's awesome. As you know, and you mentioned, all the 25 companies that you have in your portfolio, and every company's challenges are different, right? With the growing emphasis on digital identity solutions and all of these things, and your team works very well closely from Blockon with numerous Web3 startups. What are some common challenges you've observed, and especially in the early stage projects, and how has incubation process helped them overcome these?
So I believe that startups in Web3
Hmm.
um, has first common challenge that if founder has not built a company before, it's
Hmm.
like being a first time founder, they are not able to choose their fundraising path, because here we have three paths. We raise via token, which is SAT, we raise via safe, which is equity, or we go via separate, which is hybrid. And for those who have never raised funds, they are not able to decide which path to choose, because
Hmm.
whatever path you want to take, it has to be supported by a legal guidance. So I believe that 80 percentage of the startups do not have a foundation or a base entity,
Hmm.
because they are not able to decide what to go ahead with, and it takes a too long time for them to make these decisions. I have
Hmm.
also seen people changing the decision. In one of the recent investment we have done,
Hmm.
the founders have raised via safe from India, and then
Hmm.
when they go to Dubai, they realized that the project has a more potential towards the token, and then they wanted to go via SAT. And then the earlier entity where they had an acceleration agreement with the safe issued entity,
Works.
they
Yeah.
had a challenge because they don't have a token in their mandate. So they
Right.
had to another company as well. So in my opinion, the legal structure of the company is the first challenge founders have.
Hmm. Absolutely. Yes, the teams, fundraising, and all of these things play into how a company shapes up in the startup stages, and how bootstrapped you are, how long you can have the runway, all of these things. And especially if you are the advice that comes to you is not sound, and especially a lot of these times, JP, they don't even know whom to go to for these questions to be answered. And do you think there is a space for a little bit more, more push, not just in the incubation stage, even much before that, when somebody's trying to think about, when somebody's thinking about the token route or what route, even for them to even decide the formation of the company? Do you think that there is a place, there is a space that needs to be filled with advice, with services, and all of that for the companies that are looking to go build with blockchain technologies, which eventually may have a token in their ecosystem, with or without the token?
Yes.
Incubation
So
comes later after your ideate, probably form a company and all of those things, right?
yeah. So I believe that right from legal till listing or till market making, there are 11 plus modules that a founder has to undergo.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not only about that knowledge or visibility that incubator or accelerator provides, but there are actually vendor level interaction at each stages. And
Mm-hmm.
if you find this process concurrently, it takes 12 to 18 weeks for a startup to get a ready to launch their MVP or a token or their fundraising rounds. And if they are bootstrapping, they need to have support from all other friends and family member or get the angel check, because not everything comes free or comes in form of token from advisor. There are certain things where you need to actually pay the dollar for which you need the funds. So I
Mm-hmm.
believe that most of people are getting advices from the communities and advisors, people like you and me who have done this before, and they don't want to charge for something which is just a
Mm-hmm.
verbal advice or giving some introductions. So we
Mm-hmm.
have a platform, namely Web3preneur, where we have done a larger event series across Asia, and
Yeah.
we have access to 5,000 plus founders. Like, we also met at one of our event. So the goal
Yes.
of Entrepreneur is just to connect each other. People are bored of panels, fireside chat, keynotes. Even the larger event like Token 0449 can have 2,000, 20,000 attendees, but it has only stage of 200 people. Or Future Blockchain Summit have a stage for 100 people only. So what people does, they go and actually do the network. So at Web3preneur, we have created a process that is a stainless pitchless event, and you just go and network with each other. So I believe
Nice.
that there is a room for tokenization,
Mm-hmm.
but more I believe that with the AI agent coming in, we should have something like we are
Mm-hmm.
doing on GPT and other thing, that we ask an agent what we want and we get what we want from them. So we are working at Web3preneur on an AI agent where whatever you need, it will give it directly with the command, and then the credits would be a token or something that we can work together. Yeah.
Lovely. That's good to hear. It's good to hear. Yes, I did meet you at an event, and it's been a pleasure knowing you since then. And also, I'm part of that Web3preneur, chat that you run. And I see you active in answering, questions and providing information, offering advice or, a referral or something like that, which speaks a lot about, your engagement with the community. And tell me a little bit about, the blockchain and the blockon village that or the blockchain village that you are initiating in Malaysia. What's the what is the initiative behind it? What is the vision behind this project, and how do you think it's going to drive either adoption, learning, innovation, or anything like that in Southeast Asia?
Sure. So in my journey to uh, take our incubation or acceleration process supported by the government,
Hmm.
uh, we ended up in Malaysia because the government was super friendly. In 2018, when we organized our various events across Asia, at Malaysia, we found a very good partnership with Malaysia's most of government agencies. And
Hmm.
fortunately, the Prime Minister of Malaysia at the time, Tun Mahathir Mohamad, came on the stage to share the common vision about Industrial Revolution 4.0 and integration of IoT and blockchain and all these things together. Later on,
Hmm.
we are connected to Khazana, which is Malaysia's sovereign fund, and they
Hmm.
have a fully owned subsidiary called Iskandar Investment Berhad, which is in a state called Johor Bahru.
Hmm.
So our dialogue with them started by bringing in blockchain as a new technology in Malaysia, where our goal is to empower definitely the education to the people, upskill the society, and
Hmm.
with upskilled talent, we offer them better employment, and with better employment, we have better entrepreneur that and ultimately brings in more knowledge-based capital to the nation. So Malaysia's Digital Economic Corporation,
Hmm.
MDEC, has been very supportive, and now they are very vocal. They are going across various conferences speaking about what Malaysia is offering over there. For those
Hmm.
who do not know, when other countries in Asia were looking forward for their crypto regulation to be established. Even
Mhm.
ahead of Singapore, Malaysia has three cryptocurrency exchanges licenses being issued at the time, tokenized Luno and Synergy. World's
Mhm.
first STO was done in Labuan, which is the special economic zone in Malaysia. World's
Mhm.
first compliant digital sukuk bond has been issued on the platform called Fusang in Malaysia. And
Mhm.
surprisingly, when ICO regulations were not being cleared on Singapore, initially 1 out of 6 billion was raised out of Singapore, and then the Singapore government came up with the amendment of the Payment Act, which uh, put more than 800 companies on waiting on the licenses, and then
Mhm.
1,500 companies go to Dubai. At that time, Malaysian government came up with a clear IEO regulation that it is exchange which is responsible for issuance of initial exchange offering tokens, and
Mhm.
these guidelines were also very very clear. So what I believe is the government of Malaysia has given us what a community wants, and
Mhm.
that's the reason that we decided to open our center over there. Now we are working strongly by expanding this vision right from the blockchain center to
Mhm.
a an expanded verticals that includes AI,
Mhm.
IoT, robotics, AR, VR, and we are going to name it as an Internet of Values. And in upcoming 30 years, IOV, Internet of Values, will emerge as a different level of internet. The
Mhm.
first level of internet was just internet of information. Then we
Mhm.
entered into internet of e-commerce. But
Mhm.
over there, the process was search, select, and pay.
Mhm.
Now, with the identity that you guys are integrating and then
Right.
wallet, which is being interconnected, it is going to be a pre-authentication, means pay first and search and select later kind of environment. With the people with the wallet will be authenticated very easily.
Mhm.
So we'll see all new world in upcoming 2 to 3 decades where anything of value will be tokenized, and we will be talking about an internet of values. These
Mhm.
values will be definitely financial, along with
Mhm.
that cultural, social, moral, your transactional pattern, everything will be seen over there. And for that, I believe your project, especially digital identity, can definitely help you.
That's great to hear. But what you have, given us the information in Malaysia, against the reflection of what Singapore is doing and what Dubai also is a very good hub with all the clear laws and the taxation. Is it the same in Malaysia? How is the taxation in Malaysia? Because across the globe there are so many different taxes, tax schemes for crypto, the profits, and all of that. How is it in Malaysia? I
Okay,
mean,
so
that's
Malaysia,
supposed to
we
be a
are
bit
special.
innovation, right?
Yeah, so we have a special economic zone, namely Labuan, which is
Mm-hmm.
like SEZ in Dubai, and over
Mm-hmm.
there it's a flat 3% taxation. So the taxation in Malaysia is also pretty good, and
Mm-hmm.
I believe Malaysia is much ahead in terms of regulations
Mm-hmm.
as compared to Dubai, because Dubai came later post COVID. But
Mm-hmm.
still, the tokenization in Dubai is in an infant or a nascent stage. Whereas in Malaysia, you can do STO, you can do IO, and you can tokenize anything with a clear regulation. So if I want to tokenize today, in
Mm-hmm.
Dubai, I got RACDAO, I got WARA, I got DIFC, I got DMCC, I got IBZA or ADGA, multiple. But tell me a single project who have actually issued token from Dubai. I
Mm-hmm.
can show you the token from Malaysia.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in Malaysia, it is not considered a security and it is not a problem, is it?
No, they have clear definition of what is security and what is utility. If it is
Okay.
utility, you go and do IEO, which is on
Mm.
exchanges, which is
Yeah.
approved. And if it
Mm.
is STO, then go to
Mm.
Labuan and do security token offering. They are not
Okay.
struggling like all other jurisdiction that,
Mm.
okay, what kind of token it is and whether
Mm.
to issue it or not.
Fantastic. That's great to hear. This is valuable information. Um, Absolutely, JP, because every time, including us, sometimes, even when with all the information that we have, with all, because some lawyer says something, somebody else says something, and directly hearing from somebody who is driving this, the initiatives which enable founders, entrepreneurs, and also teams that are looking for places to work where the regulations are clear, taxation is understandable, and there are rules and regulations which will, and legislation too, which will enable them to make sure they're making the right decisions. Thank you for that, and I appreciate it very, very much. Um, and also is, coming to the identity solutions that you're talking about and the wallets that are integrated, with the growing emphasis on these solutions, what technical and social considerations should be prioritized when designing SSI solutions, especially to balance privacy, security, and also user autonomy? I ask you this because today I came across a service that would, basically does all the analytics using user data, ensuring, enabling
Growing
key
emphasis these
you know
solutions. What technical and social considerations
Just a minute.
should be prioritized when designing SSI solutions, especially to balance privacy, security, and also user autonomy?
So
I
sorry.
ask you this because today I came across. It started on my another device.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah.
yes, no
Okay.
issues at all. No, I ask you this because there is so much emphasis on user data being processed and
Yeah.
and user data being monetized by companies for other companies for their
Yep.
customers, right? So I may have given approval somewhere, and I'm here doing all of these things. And when you talk to them about a little bit more control over the data by the user, by the customer, the consumer themselves, they're not happy about it. How can we bring in digital identity without threatening somebody who's actually using data and enabling education there? And this is like a chicken and egg situation. Do you regulate them without taking away their bread and butter, or how do you enable some control over or some autonomy over consumers over their own data? How can we do that with digital identity solutions?
So it's very simple. It's my data and it's my consent. So everybody should have their own DID, and there are multiple ways to do it. SBT is one of the way, and every time you access my data, you need to give me your ecosystem token to me as a reward, so that
Hmm.
it comes on my SPT and I accumulate the wealth out of the fortune, which another traditional media I didn't following that way. That's one way
Yeah.
of doing it. If we treat it with the government, then it's an incentivization at the government. For example, government of India came up with a Jandan Yojana where the Aadhaar and the UID and everything was linked with an account, and everybody had opened an account linked with that card. Now Thai government want to come up with the largest amount of unbanked people on a drive, and it's a 50 million baht worth of amount, which during my last B2GC conference at Thailand, business to
Hmm.
government conference at Thailand, we are discussing with the digital ministry over there. Government has a use case. They want to issue 50 million baht digitally to drive the digital adoption. But the
Hmm.
people do not have an identity, and then they don't have an account. So if you
Yeah.
come up with the identity that comes with the wallet, it
Yeah.
becomes a single airdrop of 50 million baht, and government gives you
Hmm.
a platform to encourage
Hmm.
bringing people on wallet, and then this identity remains approved by the government. The decentralization control is with the people. They got money in the wallet, and every time you want to utilize, then you need to pay them or airdrop them something. So
Yeah.
maybe some kind of quest, some type of task on kind of element can be integrated for
Yeah.
utilizing my identity every time. So every time you put a quest on my identity, you need to pay me. Whether I watch, whether I
Yeah.
like, activity I do, they should be on chain. That's not happening now. Yeah.
Exactly, and that is where the traditional, the legacy systems or the information processing systems are threatened. Data processing is bread and butter for a lot of people. Key insights is a bread and butter for a lot of people, and sharing that the money back with me is something that incentivizes me to actually do more for you. In that case, give you more insights into how I spend or what I do, and that is my, on request. I'm happy to share it, and that is where everybody, I think, is still on the fence about which way to go. And absolutely, we are on the, I wouldn't say on the verge. We are there. Super wallets are going to be the norm, and we'll talk about it. And I just to tell the viewers today, we wanted, it's a momentous day, everyone, today, and it gives me pleasure to share that on the show with JP today, who's encouraged us to do this, to continue to do this, that our Soul Super Wallet has store, but you will not find it yet because we are pushing an upgrade to it, and you will probably see it in about a week to 10 days. Um,
Congratulations.
Thank you, JP. Thank you. It is a wallet that integrates both identities and assets. So it is a super wallet, and we're looking forward to doing more with it and doing more good with it than, ensuring that your privacy, your security, and your data is yours to keep and yours to share. Thank you. It gives me great pleasure. I'm smiling.
Yeah,
uh,
of course. Maybe I'm lucky for you.
Absolutely, JP. And you've been lucky for a lot of people, and I agree that we all have to do our bit. And
Of-
we have been, Solverse has been very, very lucky to have really good advisors, really good mentors, really good supporters. The list is long, and I probably won't get through today. And I think we'll do one show just to appreciate all the people, everybody who's been on our side to get to the day that we have gotten today. Thank you so much. And a little bit about, we talked about, RWAs, and we talked about AI agents that you brought up earlier. Could you give me a little bit more about, how the emerging technologies are going to change the landscape, especially AI, more, in terms of the agentic AI is being talked about a lot today, and the RWAs, and also if you could, a little bit more about, maybe if you have time, we can talk about DeFi protocols as well.
Sure. So in terms of RWA, as all of you know, Trump's millennia, dogs, cats, and mouse, this kind of meme coins are making billion-dollar dumps and pumps. Imagine the
Yeah.
building right back behind me is being tokenized in Dubai, and then each square feet or square inch of
Mhm.
that building is being tokenized. Irrespective of whatever happens in market, the base value of the real estate or the underlying asset behind RWA is not going to go down like what happens in the meme coin ecosystem.
Mhm.
We have various use cases of RWA, and under my portfolio, I have 4 RWA projects. We have SIP Phoenix, which is world's first marine asset decentralized platform that
Mhm.
tokenize everything that sails, whether it is vessel, ship, cruise, yacht, and it's backed by a real vessel. So
Okay.
imagine every time vessel travels, collect some rent or fees, every time the profit goes to the people. We have recently acquired a stake in Pandora, which is an IP monetization platform. So imagine your favorite star's movie coming up or a song being tokenized and you being a co-producer or a fractional producer of the same. We have got a green energy project from Israel called EcoTrader, where they are bringing larger projects like solar and green energy project that is also being tokenized. So
Mhm.
multiple fractionalized ownership of real estate, arts, or anything of value is being tokenized as of now. And I believe that that next $1 trillion or $10 trillion, or if we are bullish as per the reports that says it goes up to $30 trillion in
Mhm.
terms of the market, because
Mhm.
a single token that goes on Binance or any other has a liquidity of 5, 10, 20, 50 billion, or it may go to 100 million, and the entire supply market cap goes to a few billion. But if the building itself is worth of billions or
Yeah.
mine is worth trillions, then
Mhm.
it's going to be the next wave in the industry. I also would like to say that since 2018, we have been seeing the saturation of 100 billion of every vertical. The DeFi came, it was 100 billion. After that, NFT came, it became 100 billion. Then Metaverse came, it became 100 billion. But there was no member in the family who breaks that poverty cycle above 100 billion. I believe
Mm-hmm.
that RW got this charm
Mm-hmm.
that it can take to the next trillion
Can.
dollar.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
don't get surprised if RWS market size surpasses Bitcoin's market size as well, because it's the only industry that has got
Yeah.
capacity to do so. Coming back to AI agent, I believe it's a changing habit that we have seen from DOS to Windows, Windows to Internet, Internet to mobile, and the way we explore information. So the earlier web was only Internet of Information, then we learned about Internet of Transaction, but now with agentic web, there would
Mm-hmm.
be two agents talking to
Mm-hmm.
each other. Tomorrow, me and you might not need to come to the podcast, and our agent might be doing a podcast with each other. And
Yeah.
then there would be a world of the multi-agent where multiple transactions might be happening. In travel industry, I can command my agent and ask them to check my flight, book my hotel, take my
Mm-hmm.
cab, and actually help me to book my dining places without asking any information, including my wallets and all the detail, because everything will be super integrated. So I'm very excited, and last 4 out of 5 investments are having some touch with the AI element itself. So yes, I believe AI would be the new version of the web, and agentic web is going to be the theme in 2025. Yeah.
Fantastic, and we're looking forward to it. And we have more to share on the Soul Super Wallet. AI agents will enable, utility of your own data to do all the things that JP just talked about. We're very excited about what's there in the future, and we're looking forward to collaborating with each and every one of you who are listening today. If you have an idea, you know whom to reach out to, for incubation, for support, and also wanted to ask you a little bit more about, with extensive experience that you have, JP. How can we actually balance, or how do we, the regulatory compliances that we require with innovation? Let's say you want to build, you have an idea and you want to build these things, but most of the time, you are told that you're limited by regulatory compliances, that you may not be able to meet a compliance, either because you have a token, you have to go to a different jurisdiction, and there are layers of companies you have to form because of all of these things. How, is it killing innovation, or is it driving innovation? How is it happening, and how do you balance it?
So I always believe that it's always innovator versus regulators,
Hmm.
and the product adoption cycle is different like this. When you, as an innovator, innovate, you have to disrupt in a way that regulator get not disrupted, but they get disturbed. You have to disturb them to a level that they need to wake up from their lazy sleeping way and come up with a solution that they need to apply.
Hmm.
So if we put in an example, nobody wanted your own car to be used for passengers being, ferried on a private car, but Uber made it happen. You never
Hmm.
wanted the next door neighbor to get some stranger coming changing bedsheet, but Airbnb happened. And the same way, no central government wanted the Bitcoin to be a method of payment in the early days and the storage of value nowadays. So
Hmm.
strategic Bitcoin reserve is something that is coming up which nobody wanted. But
Hmm.
sometimes innovators goes beyond regulator and then they do it. But again, the second challenge we as an innovator face is adoption. So let's
Yeah.
say AI was the oldest bubble in late 80s. Before internet came, AI was invented. But at that time, there was no wireless network, there was no big data, there was no cloud. So my AI cannot talk to your AI in the
Yeah.
same room because we are not interconnected.
Hmm.
So AI took its own sweet time for its own adoption. So I believe
Hmm.
that we need to wait till the adoption comes in place. And adoption is all about people's mindset. When Ford came up with an idea that, okay, I want to bring a car, people said that horses are here to stay. And
Hmm.
when internet came, people said that, okay, it's going to be a bubble. Bitcoin came, that JP Morgan CEO said it's a red poison.
Hmm.
So I believe that before adoption come, all these unnecessarily noise maker or troublemaker will come. But all I want to say here is sooner or later,
Hmm.
they have to join. Bitcoin
Yeah.
is here to stay. The
Yeah.
people who are saying, like mm, Mr. Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan, he said Bitcoin is a great person. He came up with his own chain at a later stage, and now he's transacting with banks on the DLT. He just
Yeah.
don't have a so-called token, but it's like a stable coin
Mhm.
transaction system.
They're
Facebook banned,
enabling cross border. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, Facebook banned us, and then they came up with the Meta. Google banned our advertisement. And today I wonder in my own conference, Google's executives are coming to sell their Web3 crowd, and they are learning from the early movers like us that
Hmm.
how to get those Web3 clients on the platform.
Hmm.
So I call them as a late entrant to the party. So
Hmm.
it's sooner or later they will join us. Bitcoin is here to stay. Crypto is here to stay. Web3 is going to stay. Everyone will come from Web1 and Web2 at a later stage. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yes, all the Web2 companies have been investing huge behind the scenes, both into Web3 technologies, using blockchain tech, and also AI. Multi-billion dollar industry today. Everybody is trying to integrate AI. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's probably not so necessary for some of the solutions, but we need to make sure that we weed out those confusions at the end of the day. And looking at the future, we have talked about multiple technologies today, and we talked about RWA probably leading all of these trends eventually. What do you see? Let me ask you again, though. What do you see as the most emerging tech landscape, and how is BlockCon positioning itself to capitalize on these opportunities?
So I believe that infrastructure, RWA, and AI are going to be the next three things that will exist. Trends
Hmm.
will come and trends will go, but
Hmm.
anything that has infra layer, like your identity layer or some protocols or some mainnets, this
Hmm.
is going to exist. RWAs are going to exist. AI is going to be mainstream now.
Hmm.
So at Blockon, our new cohorts that we are coming up are focused on these narratives. Recently,
Okay.
we launched X Invest program in partnership with Zinfin Network.
Hmm.
So Blockon is writing $50,000 worth of check for acceleration and investment, and then the same startup is being invested by Zinfin, which is
Hmm.
milestone is $100,000 worth of program. So 150K for early stage startup is good enough to build their entire MVP and to go to market.
Yeah.
So I believe the narrative of XDC is also with us on the RWA side, and
Hmm.
we have our own AI startup cohorts coming up, and we are deeply investing into infra as well. But our investment thesis is early stage startup. Usually, I would be the one who will write your first check, or I will first who will back your idea. We don't
Hmm.
invest at the startup who already have raised the funds. We believe that they've done their job. Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. So you guys know, and if you have an idea, again, whom to reach out. It's been enlightening for sure, JP. I've been talking to you, and there is still more things that you've been doing that I'm glad to know, and I'm sure the viewers are happy to know. There has been a lot of information shared with you, everyone. And Jagdish Pandya, you know, uh, he's on LinkedIn, he's on Twitter, he's very active. And if you write to him, he responds. And he's one of the people who's always kind enough and courteous enough to respond to you. And you can reach out to him and you can ask him any questions. And since we will be running out of time very soon, let me get to the next segment, which is a rapid fire segment. um, and we have about 5 minutes, I think so, that Ali has prescribed us. Let me introduce you to Ali too, guys. He's our show's producer, and he is the one who ensures that we get to talk to people who want to share, their wisdom with our viewers. Here we go. JP, what was your first Web3 investment and when?
That was Rapid's wallet, the wallet that we want launch in China market.
Hmm. Thank you. In 3 words, what's the biggest mistake Web3 founders make?
They do not build product. they raise fund.
Yeah, I hear you. Bitcoin or meme coins, choose one.
Always, king is king, here to stay.
Absolutely. Which city do you see becoming the next major blockchain hub?
Hong Kong. In past 1 year, they issued more than 150 licenses, including first ATM license in Asia.
Oh, wow. Okay. Good to hear. Complete this. Web3 is dead without.
Community. That's the
Okay.
soul.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Your biggest Web3 learning moment in 10 seconds or more. We want to hear.
10 seconds is not enough.
10 seconds is not enough. So let's hear it. Your biggest Web3 learning moment.
Trust is good, control is better.
Okay.
If
Okay.
you are working with your founders or anyone, please make sure that you trust them, but control is better. The biggest lesson that we have learned, we lost a
Hmm.
lot because of trusting people and not
Hmm.
having control over the SAFT
What happened?
or the multi-sig wallet or other thing. Please be mindful about that.
Multi-sig wallets is a slippery slope. I know if you don't have enough checks and balances in place and you don't have enough people actually controlling it. And we also know what recently happened with the multi-sig wallet with one of the central exchanges in India. This is which a lot of people lost money from, because of. Thank you for that. Absolutely. JP, I this is something that I wanted to always do. When I'm talking to a host. Um, I've asked you a lot of questions. Is there anything that you would like to know, uh, from me, from the host? This is something I wanted to but have been wanting to do, but didn't get to do so far.
Sure.
Is there anything you want to know from me?
Yes, since 2017, we have been actively working on Women.Webtrepreneur initiative, where
Hmm.
we try to bridge that gender gap, which is SDG 5, gender neutrality as well.
Hmm.
Uh, we have been bringing most of the women on our community called Women.Webtrepreneur, and we have a team of more than 525 women on a WhatsApp group, not on the Telegram one. And whenever I meet a woman founder, woman entrepreneur, someone who has done something great, I would like to always know that did you find this space as a woman similar as the space in Web 1 or Web 2, or it is improving day by day? Like, what are your challenges as a woman in the industry?
Wow, I'm actually part of that group, Jagdish, and that's how I know you. You literally answer every question there that is posed to you, and Uh, there have been challenges in Web3 too. Some of the challenges come from the lack of network, but thankfully, since I've been in the industry and I have a network of my own already, and I'm introduced every day to people like you and all the advisors whom we have. The journey has been very enriching, and I have been able to help women myself. And I would say that Web3 area is a lot more accepting of women, so to speak, in the tech, especially. Because you're not looking at it as just a tech field, you're looking at it as an entire community as a whole. Because, like you said, Web3 is dead without the community. So you're accepted as part of the community. You're not just accepted as a leader, as not as a founder, not just as an entrepreneur. Everybody looks at you as one of the part of the community, one member of the community. So they're happy to help. And that is where I think the difference between Web 1, Web 2, and I've been part of all of them, and Web 3 now, I would say the difference is that. And very glad to be here, very happy to drive some of the solutions that we are doing today. And kudos to the Web3 community driven, the community driven Web3 environment.
That's what I wanted to know because Web3 is complementing women in a better way. And you see right from every single thing, content writing to designing to any kind of tech work, legal.
Hmm.
Recently, one of the CFO of the larger company
Hmm.
is a part of my woman community, and I didn't knew that. Okay, a large Web3 company has a woman CFO as well.
Yeah.
So I believe this space is welcoming more women, and thanks that I'm hosting. The last question. You have changed the table, and I am here to ask you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. And yeah, there is, a couple of things we have missed, I think, asking, your wavering, talking about your unwavering commitment, um, which, and the question that you asked me, makes me think about this, the collaborative, effort that is being put into literally every project, and Telegram, WhatsApp, LinkedIn. I think the the interactions have quadrupled or multiplied. I don't know by what number literally. And I have been in the Web2 environment where we used LinkedIn as well, and almost literally there was hardly any interaction. But from the time that I have been in the Web3 space, it has been enormous amount of even the little things that I post, people want to learn, people want to know, people are communicating, people are reaching out to you, people are sending you friend requests, connecting requests and all of that. This collaborative environment, JP, how do you see it shaping up in the sense of social media? you know um, we want to see how the passion that people are bringing to the Web3 environment, the innovation for the growth that they're doing, and all of that, right? Which makes it the ideal environment for the Web3 growth. How do you see social media shaping this?
I believe that a lot of issues which are existing in centralized social media need to be addressed. For
Hmm.
example, as you mentioned that your data monetization, where you're not being incentivized for the data
Hmm.
monetized, there is a choice that whether you want it to be monetized or you
Hmm.
want it to be remain private. So privacy is first thing. If monetization, the social media must undergo a tokenization or incentivization. Apart
Hmm.
from that, I have seen a lot of social media accounts are getting banned. One of the Insta influencer who had been coming to our a very young boy, uh,
Hmm.
Insta recently got banned without no reason. Someone's Twitter get banned. If
Hmm.
social media goes decentralization way, then this
Hmm.
all things would not happen. So I believe that with too much of interaction happening on different kind of social medias, we
Hmm.
will go towards a new decentralized social media, which I believe Telegram is currently
Is
with
correct.
900 million plus users. And
Hmm.
customer acquisition cost on Telegram is going pretty zero,
Hmm.
but still people do not consider Telegram as legit as the other social media are. So
Hmm.
I believe there is a room for one world-class social media where people can have a combination of DID like what you are offering, a wallet which is integrated, and all the communication protocol that remains encrypted and tokenized. So I
Yeah.
believe there would be a birth of a new social media as well because there's too much of centralization over here.
Absolutely. I think, here is an idea if somebody wants to run with it. The reason probably why Telegram, despite its, obvious, ability to enable people to interact, is because it's a private entity, it's a private groups, and people are not, it's not on the web, that other people can come and see and like and do all of that stuff. In a world where we're driven by likes, in a world where we're driven by comments saying that, oh, this is great or something like that, communication tools like Telegram, which actually drive a lot of real communication, you're exchanging ideas, there are cohorts happening there, and all of that, which are probably when you have decentralized identity on platforms with that merge, an interface with private communication, that is going to be the bomb, so to speak, JP. And I think there is an idea there. uh, Hopefully somebody will reach out to you to talk about it. We'll look forward to
Looking
that.
forward.
Yeah, much look forward. And JP, if you in few words, if somebody should reach out to you, what is the best way to do it?
LinkedIn. I'm
LinkedIn.
on, yeah.
Okay. And if somebody wants to apply to your incubator, what is the best way?
So
Is there
we are launching
online?
our new program called X Invest, and the website is going live.
Hmm.
Over there, we'll have our QR code and contact details. Currently, it is reach out to me on the LinkedIn. That's
Hmm.
only where we are capped because we don't run a cohort. We do a bespoke and very less number of projects per year. We try to minimize the dropout ratios from the batch, and I believe that there's no sense in running a cohort where somebody is from NFT, somebody is doing DeFi, somebody is doing Metaverse, and then somebody is doing wallet. It's like an engineering first semester where everybody is mixed up,
Yeah.
and then they choose the. So I was talking on the previous podcast also. We have many startups coming to us. We have who have a double degree means incubated somewhere else and coming to us, accelerated somewhere else and still coming to us. So we are okay for acceleration. The new
Hmm.
world will have a multiple accelerators or incubator nurturing the same startup because
Yeah.
what one incubator has, others might have. The difference between our accelerator program and other is we are X invest, means we accelerate and we invest. It's not an acceleration
Only.
just only, and it's not without the check. We do write a check as well. Yeah.
That's fantastic. That is a great combination, JP, if you ask me, because a lot of the times, you have accelerators and then, you go through a process of pitching and all of that, and it ends up to be nothing. You have spent 3 months, going through one of some of these accelerators or incubators, and at the end of the day, you're hoping that somebody will come along and stay on as an advisor or stay on as, to help you out, and you put your, heart and soul into it, and nothing comes out of it, which is quite, I would say the sometimes a nail in the coffin, because some of them have, spent a lot of time on these things for quite some time by then. Thank you for that, JP. It's been my pleasure talking to you today and drawing out all the information that is necessary for startups to thrive, where they want to go, which country they want to go to, what kind of, legal infrastructure they need to build, what kind of legislation they need to be mindful of, all of that stuff. And it has been an experience for me as well. Thank you so much today for joining us and sharing, despite your health, sharing valuable information. Thank you so much, JP.
Thank you. Thank you, Kavita.
Thank you.